Good morning and welcome to our Sunday morning virtual service. My name is Reverend James Park and it's just such a pleasure to be here with you today. Well, we got a lot to cover this Sunday, so I want to jump right into it. Let's get into our daily word. And our daily word for today is prosperity. And the affirmation, I am prosperous as I enjoy daily blessings. I am comfortable with the person I see in the mirror as I begin my day. I am filled with energy, enthusiasm for my work, my recreation time with family or friends, or time for learning and reflection. My gratitude grows throughout the day as I take part in activities I enjoy and spend time with people I care about. As I prepare for sleep, I am grateful for the blessings of a day well lived. More than money or possessions, prosperity is an awareness of well-being, my ability to enjoy simple blessings. I strengthen my prosperity consciousness as I bless and appreciate my home, my friends and family, and my work. I increase the flow of abundance by sharing my time, talents, and treasure in service to others. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long. Psalms 23, verse 6. What a beautiful daily word. Well, friends, I want to thank you again for coming into our service and being a part of this Sunday morning. My lesson title today is Self-Forgiveness, and I really want to talk to you about this and nail it down. Self-forgiveness, wiping the slate clean. By removing transgressions and sins through forgiveness, the Message Bible in the book of Psalms chapter 32, verse 1 says, "Count yourself lucky, how happy you must be. You get a fresh start. Your slate's wiped clean." I just love that particular scripture. Forgiveness is defined as a change in your emotions from negative to positive. It involves reconciling with ourselves and changing how we view ourselves. It involves reconciling with ourselves and changing how we view ourselves. The benefits and gifts of self-forgiveness are a clean slate, self-esteem, and self-love. It's a way to remove and erase any evidence of a mistake or transgression. It's also a way to remove the bonds and commitments that are no longer serving your highest good. To forgive or forget your past faults and offenses, and to begin anew or start over. Shannon Tanner, she said, "Forgive yourself. You're not perfect. Show yourself grace. You are still learning. Show yourself patience. You are on a journey." I love that. Show yourself patience. You are on a journey. What most of us don't know is that the failure to forgive is often an issue of guilt and shame. It's like this tug of war going on. Guilt is what you feel when you have violated a rule that is important to you, or when you believe you have failed to live up to a certain standard you have set for yourself. It's the painful emotion you feel when something you have done is bringing you a feeling of being wrong or that you have failed. Guilt is about what you do. However, shame goes much deeper than guilt. Shame is about who you are. It touches you at the core of your identity. Shame says you did something wrong because you are wrong, inadequate, flawed, no good, or you failed because you're a failure. It is paralyzing, informing you that you are not right at your core, that you that you're a hopeless case and that change is ultimately impossible. Shame tells you your mistakes define you, whereas guilt says you've messed up, but you're not a mess up. To rid yourself of guilt and shame, you can only rely on self-forgiveness. Self-forgiveness promotes a healthy relationship with yourself, with others, with the world around you. Self-forgiveness promotes a healthy relationship with yourself, with others, and the world around you. Instead of feelings of guilt, shame, anger, resentment, and bitterness toward ourselves, we must choose to change those feelings to empathy, compassion, self-worth, and love toward ourselves. In fact, where there is a lack of self-forgiveness, there is a lack of self-love. Take a moment, just take a moment and look at yourself. Look at your own life. Look at your relationships. Do you see any room for improvement? If you do, self-forgiveness. You have to begin to work at self-forgiveness, to begin to mold it and bring it into every part of your life, because we all have something to forgive on the inside. Dr. Martin Luther King, he said, "He who is devoid of the power of forgiveness is devoid of the power of love." Friends, when we lack the energy and understanding to forgive ourselves, when we hold on to guilt, shame, or regrets from our life's journey, we are devoid of spiritual energy. We become our own worst critics. We fail to see our good. We are less likely to prosper or love unconditionally. We become our own mistake. We feel unworthy and depend less on the presence and power of God or the Spirit within. In this environment, how can self-love or self-worth thrive? Self-forgiveness allows to literally change the meaning of a shortcoming, mistake, or feeling. For example, if you were to say, "I made a mistake because I'm basically a failure or I'm not worthy," you can change that feeling or that expression to, "I made a mistake because I am human." I want you to begin to recognize that mistakes are made by you. You are not made by your mistakes. Mistakes are made by you. You are not made by your mistakes. Curtis Sittenfeld, he said, "We all make mistakes, don't we? But if you can't forgive yourself, you'll always be in exile in your own life." If you can't forgive yourself, you'll always be in exile in your own life. How many of you know that out of the 750,000 decisions you'll make in a year, over 143,000 of them will be mistakes? Whether you hit the snooze button or not, what channel you turn to, if you're washing your hands for 20 seconds or more, to the way you recycle and treat the planet. Mistakes are common. Mistakes are common. Perhaps you have been holding on to guilt or regret about something you've done or not done in the past. Perhaps you feel like you have hurt someone, or you feel like you've allowed someone to hurt you. Perhaps you're feeling ashamed about a bad choice or decision you've made or not made. I'm guilty of that. These errors do not define you. Friends, the anxiety, stress, sleep issues, and even physical problems from your past lapses and errors are simply limitations caused by unforgiveness and lack of self-love over something done or not done. said or not said. Instead of letting your shortcomings and mistakes become so ingrained in your thoughts that they become permanent expressions of your outer world and relationships, forgive yourself. Love yourself. Give yourself a break. Accept your failures as learning experiences and wipe the slate clean today. You have the power to do that. But you must allow yourself to come forth, to come into an acceptance of who you are, and accept that you've made some mistakes. Holding on to negativity makes you a prisoner. Forgiving and releasing negativity sets you free. Don Miguel Ruiz said, "The supreme act of forgiveness is when you can forgive yourself for all the wounds you have created in your own life." He said forgiveness is an act of self-love. When you forgive yourself, self-acceptance begins and self-love grows. I love that. When you forgive yourself, self-acceptance begins and self-love grows. Let's look at a few reasons to forgive yourself. Number one, you deserve it. Maya Angelou, she said, "Forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before you learned it." Forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before you learned it. We are all human, which means that we all make mistakes. It's inevitable. It's been said that the only thing that are certain in life are death and taxes. But I'm going to add one more lifetime guarantee: messing up. I use messing up. I know you may use another word. We will all have to forgive ourselves at some point for making mistakes, doing something wrong, being human, or simply messing up. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Don't beat yourself up about it. There's an old saying, if you knew better, you would do better. Forgive yourself first. Then remind yourself that you deserve it. And now that you know better, you can do and be better. Are you with me? Number two, healing. Mila Bron, she said, in order to heal, we must first forgive. And sometimes the person we must forgive is ourselves. We can't give what we don't have. Let me say that again. We can't give what we don't have. In the same way that we are guaranteed to make mistakes, those with whom we are in relationships with are going to make mistakes as well. We can only forgive others once we have forgiven ourselves. And that results in greater healing, peace, and happiness and abundance. So open yourself up to open yourself up to the healing power of self-forgiveness, and you will be the healing presence in your relationships. Are you still with me? Number three, growth. Gandhi said, "The weak can never forgive." The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is an attribute of the strong. We don't always need to be strong, but we need always to be growing. Growth and development should never stop. Growth and development should never stop. Allow yourself to be forgiven and you will grow and expand your territories. And by constantly growing, you can achieve your goals and create a life that you love. Are you still with me? Number four, stop the tape. A Course in Miracles says, the greatest power to change the world is your power to change your mind about the world. Isn't that beautiful? The greatest power in the world, the greatest power in the world is your mind. Did you know that? It's human nature to spend time and energy replaying our mistakes. For some, processing is important. But going over what happened again and again won't allow you to take the proper steps to forgive yourself. When you catch yourself playing the I am a horrible person, I am a failure, I am not worthy of love and happiness tape. Stop the tape, change your mind, and focus on something positive. Interrupting the thought pattern or tape will help you move away from the negative experiences and reduce stress and anxiety. Are you still with me? Number 5, develop kindness and compassion. Having kindness and compassion starts and ends with having compassion for all those unwanted parts of ourselves. That's what Pema Chodron said. Having compassion starts and ends with having compassion for all those unwanted parts of ourselves. I love that one. If your first response to a negative situation is to criticize yourself, it's time to show yourself some kindness and compassion. The only way to begin the journey to forgiveness is to be kind and compassionate with yourself. This takes patience, time, and a reminder to yourself that you're worthy of forgiveness. Allow yourself to come forth with the power that is within you. When you begin forgiving yourself, your territories not only expand, your life grows, and you come into a whole new expression of light and love. So now that we've looked at a few reasons you should forgive yourself, let's look at a few ways you should forgive yourself. Let's watch the video.
No matter the situations we might be going through, there is a common truth. All of us eventually will make a mistake in our lives. I'm talking about the kind of mistakes that we keep thinking about. And sometimes, those mistakes can have a lasting effect in our lives, preventing us to enjoy it at its fullest, keeping us up at night, draining our happiness away. Ideally, we would want to go back in time and never make the mistake to begin with. But since we can't do that, the only option we have is moving on. Here you will find some advice on how you can move past your mistakes and live a happier life. Number 1. Learn to recognize what and where the mistake really is. If you keep thinking about your past mistakes as someone checking the black box recordings after a plane crash, you might as well put it to good use. You might have communicated poorly. It might have been a wrong action, or lack thereof, but it's important to come to terms to what really happened instead of wandering into the fantasy of what could have been if you had done things right in your perspective. Whatever mistake you made, even if there are consequences to live because of it, does not define you. You are not your mistake. Stop punishing yourself as a whole and start directing your thoughts on not letting your past mistakes affect you as a whole. Number 2, forgive yourself first, then seek for forgiveness elsewhere. Oftentimes we think that the way people treat us stems from our mistakes, and certainly when we are fixated on a mistake, we become victims of confirmation bias. We look for every little hint that tells us we're in the right to have people treat us differently because we feel less. But that will not get any better by endlessly looking for others' approval before we really come to terms with ourselves. Also understand that you are more focused on yourself than others likely are, and that also means everybody else is focused on their own mistakes more than others. The people around you, much like you, are dealing with their own share of regrets. And kindness, especially being kind to yourself, can go a long way. Number 3, learn to live with the best of your mistakes. It's easy to think about the consequences that a past mistake can leave, but wouldn't it be better if we could find good things out of it? It might take a little effort, but it's certainly possible to recognize the glass half full out of any situation in life. Maybe you can teach others to do better if they encounter a similar experience to yours. Maybe you missed a good opportunity, but this has taught you to recognize such opportunities when they come along. Come to think about your progress in life as non-linear. Sometimes mistakes are part of the process. Other times they can lead to marvelous things. Past mistakes can be hurtful, but they are a part of life. Self-love and forgiveness are a great key to live life well. Because remember, life goes on, and so can you.
Friends, Brittany Burgunder said, "Forgiving yourself, believing in yourself, and choosing to love yourself are the best gifts one could receive." Friends, self-forgiveness is a chance of a lifetime, but you must learn to recognize and accept your mistakes. Forgive yourself first. Choose to learn from your mistakes, and finally, believe that you are not defined by the worst moments of your life. Joe Osteen said, "Forgiveness is a choice, but it is not an option." Forgiveness is a choice, but it is not an option. Yes, you have a choice to forgive yourself or not, but make no mistake, you don't have an option. Unforgiveness holds us prisoner. Self-forgiveness sets us free. Unforgiveness leaves us lonely, hurt, abandoned, and stressed. Self-forgiveness enjoys love, healing, prosperity, joy, and respect. And although it's easier said than done, we must accept that forgiveness is a choice and work through the minor mistakes that are imposing themselves on every area of our lives. We all make mistakes. As humans, no one's perfect. The trick is to learn and move on from your mistakes, to let go, to wipe the slate clean, to get a fresh start, and begin to create the life you are meant to have. Are you willing to do this with me today? Well, thank you all, and God bless you. Well, friends, now we've come to that part of our service where we open our hearts to give. And there are three ways that you can give. You can press the donate button there on our website, or you can text us at 773-492-8772. Or always send us a check to 2650 West Montrose, Suite 110, Chicago, Illinois, 60618. Now, I want you to take that offering, take your gift, and send energy from your heart or your mind into that gift. And let us say our offertory blessing together. Divine love, richly flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful for the blessings of this day. I am grateful for the blessings on the way. And so it is. Well, friends, if you prayed that prayer with us, you are moving energy, you are moving substance. Allow yourself now to open the way. Open the way, a channel for God to reach you so that you may claim your prosperity, claim your good. Now let us pray together. Heavenly Mother, Father, everything God, thank you for coming forth in your perfect way, for expressing your beauty, your light, your life, your love unto us. We come forth now knowing that all is well, all is in divine order. And we seek only your will, not my will, but thy will be done. God, take these gifts now. Take them and send them out into the world to wherever you see fit, to wherever you see the need. And then return that gift to the giver, pressed down, shaking together, and running over 100-fold. Fill their bank accounts, fill their wallets, and then end any burden, any strife, any difficulty. God, allow your gift, your love to move through us now, touching our families, touching our homes, touching every part of our lives, bringing prosperity into every aspect of our being. More of you, God, less of me. More of you, God, less of me. More of you, God, less of me. And we see your energy, your power, your substance working in the name and the nature of Jesus the Christ. And so it is. Amen. Well, friends, I just want to thank you for being here with us today. If you like what you've seen, please hit the share button or subscribe. We'd love having you. If you're visiting us for the first time, welcome to our family. We enjoy having you. Keep coming back. We will continue to grow together. And if you're feeling anything, if you're feeling sadness, depression, if you're going through a tough time today, take a look into our archives at unitychicago.org. Pull out a meditation or a past sermon or something that will help you and uplift you and inspire you. We're here to work with you at all times. And now allow yourself to become still. And let us say our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Well, friends in unity, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for just being a part of my life. Excuse me for my braces. I know I was talking funny, but they're new to me. But keep in mind, I'm here for you. I love you. God bless you. We'll see you soon.